This is The Raid, exposing the dark world of America's deportation machine. I'm your host, John Carlos Frey. On the news update for today, I wanted to focus on how the Trump administration is dealing with children who are being swept up in the immigration raids, and many held in detention or jail-like conditions with their families. That may seem like hyperbole to use the term jail to describe immigrant detention, but I think you'll agree with me by the time this podcast has concluded. The Trump administration has blundered immigration policy when it comes to the treatment of children, or maybe it's not a blunder at all, and they're mistreating children on purpose. I hate to think that the latter is true, but there is evidence to suggest that the disregard of immigrant children is a tactic. In Trump's first term, there was the highly condemned family separation policy that forced children from their parents without much accounting, and thousands of young children lost contact with families, never to be reunited. To this day, according to the Human Rights Watch, the Trump administration is responsible for orphaning 1,360 children. That means those children were separated from their parents by the government, and their parents never found and therefore never reunited. The tactic of family separation was a deterrent strategy to keep other immigrant families from coming to the United States. The idea was, if you don't want this to happen to you, don't come. The separation of your children will be the price you pay. The mistreatment of children by the government is historically purposeful. You don't mistreat children by accident. Scholars and human rights advocates have documented authoritarian regimes using children as pawns to further traumatize or control their parents. According to the National Immigration Law Center, authoritarian governments and policies often treat immigrant children as subjects for deterrence, subjecting them to harsh conditions, family separation, and reduced legal protections. These practices include holding children in unsafe detention, rapid deportations without due process, and using children as tools to deter migration. Sound familiar? And not to be repetitive, but to try and prove the point, according to the ACLU, immigrant children in custodial settings such as ICE detention have faced unsafe and unsanitary conditions, including inadequate food, poor medical care, and 24-hour lighting. Policies are designed to deter migration, such as separating children from parents, to create a profound psychological distress and anxiety and long-term developmental harm, acting as a form of cruel authoritarian or quasi-authoritarian action. I'm not making this stuff up. Again, the ACLU is stating the purposeful mistreatment of children for government control of the parents. It's a heinous and inhumane form of government when the mistreatment of children is a ploy to further a deterrent strategy or employ punitive immigration tactics. The climate of fear created by aggressive immigration enforcement negatively impacts the health, education, and development of immigrant children, both documented and undocumented. The proper and humane treatment of children in the United States is mandated by law with required standards of care. These are the lawful and mandatory requirements. Prompt release. Minors must be released from detention without unnecessary delay to parents, to legal guardians, or other qualified custodians. The time limit for a child in detention is a maximum of 20 days. If not immediately released, minors must be placed in the least restrictive setting appropriate to their age, preferably in licensed, non-secure facilities. Take them out of a jail setting as quickly as possible is what that means. Another requirement by law, the government must provide essential services, including food, water, medical care, and education. Here's how the Trump administration is handling the jailing of children, according to numerous sources. Since Trump took office, 1,300 children have been held for longer than 20 days, a direct violation of the requirements of how to treat children in detention. Families, including children, have raised hundreds of concerns regarding inadequate medical attention. Reports include children falling sick with viruses, having to wait hours for care, and in some cases, serious illnesses like pneumonia or appendicitis being ignored or improperly treated. Numerous reports from children and parents describe the food as frequently contaminated with worms, with mold or debris. Children have reportedly stopped eating, lost weight, and suffered from constant stomach illnesses. The detention facilities are described as a horrible place where children are under constant surveillance and held in crowded, dorm-style rooms. Some children have been detained for months, causing them to show signs of severe mental distress, regression, and self-harm. There are reports of a lack of clean, drinkable water, and as of February 2026, confirmed cases of measles at the facilities. There is inadequate education. Reports state that education is minimal, with children having limited access to school, often only 1 hour a day, and experiencing a lack of proper age-appropriate activities. According to the legal standards of care for children in detention, these would all suggest the Trump administration is violating law when it comes to how it cares for children in custody. The best possible way to understand how the government is treating children in detention is to, of course, hear directly from them. According to Congressman Joaquin Castro of Texas, Liam Ramos, the child that was wearing a blue bunny cap and a Spider-Man backpack taken by ICE in Minneapolis, age 5, quote, spent 10 days in a Texas trailer prison. He got sick, he missed his mother and school, and was afraid of the guards. Millions prayed, spoke up, and offered to do whatever they could to see him go home. Then a federal judge ordered his release, and I, the congressman, escorted him and his father home to Minnesota. But now the Trump administration is trying to take him again. They're breaking legal precedent in an attempt to break this boy's spirit and all of Americans who have been praying for him. This is from the authoritarian playbook, where children are used as pawns to control parents and adults. The incarceration of children as a deterrent is not only inhumane, but a clear sign of an authoritarian regime. Liam's father, Adrian Conejo Arias, describes his son's condition after 10 days in detention. Quote, "The truth is, he's not the same boy he was before. Ever since he went there, he's suffered psychological trauma. He's very scared. He can't sleep well at night. He wakes up 3 or 4 times a night screaming, 'Daddy, Daddy.'" Liam tells his father about nightmares featuring police officers. The boy also, quote, "remembers the moment ICE agents detained us." ProPublica recently published letters from children incarcerated at the largest family detention facility in Dilley, Texas, where about 750 families remain in custody. These are some excerpts from the letters written by children in the Dilley Immigration Processing Center run by Core Civic. Just remember, the law is very clear on how children are to be treated in detention. No more than 20 days, adequate food, and education. Hola, my name is Gabby M. I'm 14 years old. I am from Colombia. I've been detained in Dilley Immigration Processing Center for 20 days, and I haven't been getting the right education due to being in here. I haven't been able to see my family and friends since I got here. I started to feel sad. Also, I haven't felt happy since I got here. Hello, my name is Arian V. I'm 14 years old and I'm from Honduras. I've been detained for 45 days and I've never felt so much fear. Since I got to this center, all you will feel is sadness and mostly depression. Hello, my name is Susej. That's spelled S-U-S-E-J. And I'm 9 years old. I'm from Venezuela and I've been 50 days in Dilley Immigration Processing Center and I want to go to my country. Hello, I'm Ender, and I'm 12 years old. They told me I could only be here 21 days, but I have already spent more than 60 days waking up eating the same repetitive meals. My name is Valentina. I'm from Venezuela, and I have been in the U.S. for 3 years. I am 7 years old, and I have been in this place for 70 days. I don't want to be in this place anymore, and I want to go to my school. I am Maria Antonia Guerra Montoya, and I have been 113 days in detention. I miss my friends, and I feel they are going to forget me. Thank you for listening to The Raid, available wherever you get your podcasts. For more information about our guests and the subjects we cover, please visit our website at theraidpodcast.org.